Why, hello, everybody. My name is Adam, and I am the owner of Pangea Web Services in Victoria. And this is going to be the first of a series of videos I'm doing critiquing and evaluating and giving feedback and advice on local business websites. So, my first volunteer I found in the Victoria Entrepreneurs Facebook group, but I'll be posting this in a couple of local Facebook groups. This business is called West Coast Refill, and she said she's going to be redoing her website soon and would like some feedback. So here's what we're going to do. For starters, let's talk about what a website is for. Now, a lot of people think that a website is there to look good, and while that's true, really the main point of a website, the main purpose of a website is to inform and to build trust and establish a relationship with your potential clientele. And how do you do that? Well, the most important thing is the content, specifically the text, the words, and in marketing, we call that the ad copy. So we're going to spend a lot of time talking about ad copy. We're going to talk a little bit about user flow, how people are going to interact with the website when they arrive. And then we're going to talk about how we can best implement these on a practical website. So the first thing that I always do with any website project when I'm building a website is I always try to identify my goals. What am I hoping to accomplish with this website? Now, I ask this to my clients a lot of the time. They're just getting started. I say, hey, why do you want a website? And the general answer is usually, well, every business needs a website. You can't have a business without a website. You need a website to be a professional business. And I say, okay, well, yeah, that's true, but do you know what your website can actually accomplish for you? So with this website, I'm assuming their goal is to sell products. At the end of the day, they don't want a website. They want to sell their products. They want to get people to come into their store, and judging by this little button here, they want to get people to shop online. So we always identify the goal first, and then we think, how can we get people to accomplish that goal for us? Okay, so when you first land on a website, what we have here, we call the hero section, sometimes called above the fold, which is leftover term from the newspaper era when the newspaper would be folded, and what's above the fold is what you can see before you open up the newspaper. It's the initial impression. It's the most important part of a website. In fact, I would say, I don't want to say it's the only part that matters, but if this part of the website isn't killer, the rest of the website doesn't matter. So this is where the money's at, is the hero section. So we're going to spend a few minutes talking about the hero section, what we hope to accomplish here, and then we'll move on. So first of all, when I think about the hero section, there are three main things that I try to include in every hero section. The first is what we call a value proposition. Now, consumers are selfish. They don't care about you. They don't care about your business. They don't care where you're from. I mean, maybe they do. You can add that later in the website. But when people first come to a website, the question they are asking is, what am I going to get? What's in it for me? Why should I come to this business? Why? That's the main question. So we have the most important part of a website is the value proposition. The value proposition is what value we are proposing that client or potential customer is going to get. Now, when I see this current website, I don't actually see a value proposition. Now, the value proposition can be structured in a number of ways. Of course, it's usually the big headline. So that's why most businesses, most websites you'll see have a big headline that talks about what the client is going to get. Now, in this situation, I think a very direct headline about what exactly your store offers is probably the way to go. Now, with some businesses like massage, say, or a psychologist, you may want to talk about the feeling someone is going to get, like, uh, you know, feel relaxed, or, take the pain out of your muscles from a massage therapist, or with a therapist. Give yourself the gift of peace of mind, right? So you want to talk about what people are going to get. With this, you might want to say something like shop without the guilt. Shop with guilt-free shopping uh, without waste. So um, obviously, I'm just throwing ideas out of my head right now. When I actually do a project, I spend a lot of time coming up with different headlines, and it's usually a collaboration between me and my client where we identify the real goal. But for now, we would say that the headline in this situation would be something like, why, like, you really want to focus on what makes you special and differentiates yourself from your competition. Like, why would people want to shop at your store as opposed to somebody else's store? What makes you unique? What is your selling feature? So in this situation, I think it's going to be something like guilt-free shopping, waste-free shopping, focusing on that because it's a refill. Now, the other thing that I don't like about this website is I don't like anything to be dependent on pictures. There are some people who are visually impaired. When you're on mobile devices, they can get lost. Everything has to be in text as well. Google won't index a picture, and the main heading is usually the most important um, part of content for SEO purposes and search engine indexing. So I would really say that you need a good heading that explains what you do or what people are going to get. So in this case, I would also like to see something about what kind of products you sell. Because when I see West Coast Refill, my first question was, is it a gas station? Like, what am I refilling? What is it? I don't know. I just, it's not, I don't think that this refillable industry is that well known, where it's like, if you said like West Coast landscaping, well, people know what landscaping is, but West Coast refill, to me, I don't immediately know what that means. Is it water? Right? Like it could be so many things. So I usually like to have two headings, a main one, which is kind of a shorter value proposition, followed by a subheading that kind of expands on how you're going to deliver that. So in this situation, a good heading might be guilt-free shopping without the waste, or something along those lines, and then a smaller subheading that says uh, offering organic products including soap, laundry detergent, food, I don't know, gasoline, whatever you sell. I don't know what you sell, right? I want to know right off the bat what I can get from your store, because then I'm going to know right away if this is right for me. You got about like 10 seconds to connect with people before they click back and they're out. So you really want to focus on that on the hero section. The second thing we want to talk about the call to action. So remember, we were talking about goals. We were talking about what you hope to achieve on your website. Well, normally you would like to have a button here that says shop now or find our location, whatever that goal is. You can have two call to actions. Normally you don't want any more than two, or you can have like a more vivid, like, main call to action with a more subtle secondary call to action. Whatever that may be. For some businesses, the goal might be to join my mailing list. For my own business on my website, it's always book a free consultation, because I offer free consultations. And that is my main goal on my website, is to get a free consultation, and then I can talk to people and hopefully sell them a website. So you think about your call to action. In this case, I think it should be shop online or find our location, that kind of thing. The other thing you may want to consider is even just putting your address right there. If you just want people to come to your store, say your value proposition, your two headings, your value propositions, and then just have your address right there, because people are going to want to know that right away when they come to your website. Where are you? Okay, and then the third thing that you have on a website is the social proof, trust. Why should people trust you? Why should people come to your store? What's so good about you? Like, how do they know they're not going to get ripped off? Now, in a retail environment, you can just get them in there. You can talk to them. That's great. For something like myself, where I do consultation and self-service, I want to show reviews. I want to talk about some of my past projects. So in your case, you may want to talk about uh, um, if you're part of any sustainable organizations, or if you have any organic certification, if you have anything like that. And also, doesn't have to be in the hero section, but I always like a section of reviews on the homepage of uh, every website. Another thing that you can do is, like, are there any businesses that use your products? Do you have a hotel that uses your refills? Because if so, I would consider putting some logos. And you can ask their permission, but almost any business will be fine with you using their logo if they actually are buying your product. So let's just say you're using the the Delta Hotel uses your products. You can say trusted by these local companies, the Delta Hotel, the whatever, the Mint restaurant. Doesn't matter what it is, but that's another thing that builds social proof. Okay, so that's the hero section. Let's talk about these sliders. Now, these are often requested by clients. In the industry, they are generally considered to be crap. Nobody likes them. They don't really provide a direct emphasis on achieving your goals. Often you'll be reading something and it'll move out of your way halfway while you're reading it. Like, it's actually, they're in this context, these carousels is what they're called, are really not good user experience for the visitor. Clients love them because they look good, they're flashy. It's like, oh, all these pictures, but at the end of the day, it's not always about having good looking pictures. It's about achieving your website's goals and making money. And these 99% of the time are not the right way to go. There are some situations where they do work. In this situation, I really don't think this is it. Also, let's just say this carousel had a button on it that said shop now, and you're about to click it, and then it slides out of the way. You're like, where'd that button go? And then another button says, read my about us or something. And you think, oh my God, now I have to go back. So lose the carousel. That's all I have to say. Also, like, if you have a picture like this, text should never be part of a picture. It should always be part of the web page, because Google will never index text. Also, like, for accessibility purposes, like if someone's using a screen reader, they cannot read that with a screen reader. It will not help you with SEO, and on certain screens, they will be off-centered or disjointed. So I would be very careful having any text in an image, especially if it's important. Again, when you're looking on a mobile device, this text might be really small because the picture is going to shrink down. So just write the text as text, and then have a picture however you want to get it designed, right? Get a nice picture. See, like, the other thing is like this, like, I feel like these pictures are very small, and I don't mean like small pixelated size, but like all I'm seeing here is the top, and I think you could pose your product a lot better. And I don't know why you have a picture of the beach, right? Like, I understand that you have nature is good for the environment, but at the end of the day, you want to focus on your products. You want to focus on maybe somebody using your product is a good option, but really you just want to focus on the product as much as possible. So, other couple little notes here. This section up here where the menu is way too big. Now, I see this all the time. These shrink down. Uh, Honestly, the menu should. I don't like sticky menus personally. I think they take up too much space. There are some ways where you can make a menu that disappears and it comes back again as you scroll up. But in general, you'll find that I always say, look at it this way: go to like some big corporate websites who know these guys know how to make money. They know how to do marketing. Do these websites have these features? And if the answer is overwhelmingly no, then it's probably not a good feature, even though it kind of looks flashy. Flashy is not what we're going for. Again, we're looking for success, and we're looking for sales, and we're looking for connecting with clients. So, yeah, lose that. This needs to be centered. I don't really like centered logos with the menu on either side. Sometimes they can work, but again, they often start looking disjointed. Like this logo should really be in the exact center. This kind of weird that way. So, there are certain things about design that just like, they're so standard that unless you are trying to be artistic, you shouldn't really deviate from. And I think logo in the top left is one of those things. Like if you were doing a website that really was focusing on art or something artsy, that might be better. But in this situation, I don't think it's a good idea. Yeah, so let's see what we got here. Refillable products, shop online. We'll go through these other pages in a little bit. Okay, next, downtown Victoria location now open. If that's something that's really important, I think they have the little announcement bars at the top. It's nice to have a little announcement bar, those little strips that are across the top of your website. Those are great for announcing something like a new location is open, or say you have free shipping or something like that over $100. That's a little spot for announcement bar. To me, this is not the most important information here. After you've done the hero section, we really want to talk about expanding on the benefits that we talked about in the value proposition. We want to talk about the social proof, and then we also want to talk a little bit about the features of the product itself. So here you might want to say, you have your guilt-free shopping. We sell soaps or whatever. Talk a little bit about your products, and then your value proposition: shop now. And then down here, you could say trusted by these companies, or maybe some reviews, customer testimonials since 2018, whatever. And then maybe below that, you can talk about, the quality of your ingredients. Are they all organically sourced? Just expand upon this value proposition that's here. The other thing, if you're looking to do sales, this is all very flexible stuff, is you can go into your categories of products. So you can be like, shop soaps, shop food, shop marbles. I don't know again, I want to know right away what it is I can get there in general. I don't have to have every product, but I want to know real quick what it is you're selling. And I just don't really know what it is. It's herbs, flowers, incense, and if it's all these things, then put it on there. But that's very important. Then as we go further down, you can do a little section below that that's maybe a little bit about you, like our mission. We believe blah 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 in creating a clean world and reducing garbage, and then have a button that says read about our story. That'll take you to the About Us page. So basically, the home page is an overview, an introduction to everything that you're going to find on the website. You have your intro, your value proposition. What's this all about? What am I going to get? And then you tell a little story about like who you are, what you offer, why your product is good, what you can get there. About us, and each of these little sections can then expand to those pages. I see you have a learn here, workshops and events. So you might want to have a little section that talks, we offer workshops, blah, 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 and a button that says sign up now. I mean, if workshops are really important to you, you may want to have sign up for workshops up here in the hero section. Again, it's all about your main goals. And if workshops are really one of your main goals, then you should consider having it in your hero section here. So that's what I have to say about that. Then further down as you get towards the bottom. Now when I make a website, I come up with all this content first before I do any design. We do the content strategy, we do all the writing before we choose any pictures, before we choose any fonts, plan all of this out first. Then before you get to the bottom, you have a secondary call to action. So people have read the whole page, they've gone through your features, they're still scrolling, okay, and then they have another call to action that says, like what you see, or, come visit us today. Usually just a very short second tagline and then another button that says shop now. It's your sort of your final call to action. And I like to have that call to action on pretty much every page. And so it's right there at the bottom of every page saying shop now, or come here, or book a service, book a consultation, whatever it is. Yeah, you have a repeat of that call to action at the bottom of the page. And then your footer section is a little sparse here. You should have a complete sitemap of all your pages. So like I like to have another menu, but like with all of these listed out, right? No, you don't have to hover over it, so you can just kind of see the entire sitemap. I would also like to see a Google map embedded, so that just shows the Google map that people can click on to find your location. I want to see links to your social media. I want to see, I think if conscious community is something that you're a part of, you may want to consider a land acknowledgement. You might an inclusivity message, environmental sustainability. Now I just noticed this. You have this shop online right here. This here, want to save the world, start here. This is a great bunch of text for that final call to action. And actually, I think this is more along the lines of what you would want to have in your hero section. Want to save the world. So it's still a little vague. Ever-growing selection of plastic-free and reusable homewares and there we go. Homewares and personal care items. This is some of the most important information, and it's buried down here in the footer of your website. So I would like to see this section rethought out. I'm not stoked exactly on what these words are, but this idea as your main section here. Then you can have, links to your social media, copyright, this little bit, all rights reserved at the bottom there. And that, I see here's your social media link. Sure, that's fine there. I generally like to have them centered in the footer, but whatever. On a website, you don't really want to send people to social media. You want people from social media to come to your website. The website's the end goal, right? Unless your goal is to build a social media following and you're like directly selling on Facebook. If you have like a TikTok page where you're an influencer and you're like trying to build your TikTok brand, well then by all means you should have a section about your TikTok page, not just a little thing down here. You should be like, come to my TikTok page, join up, right? But in general, if you're using social media as a kind of just a way to connect with clients and bring them to your website, then just a little thing like this at the bottom is good. So that's an overview of the home page. Let's talk about look at some of these other pages. Refillable products. Okay. Also, you got to get yourself a site icon here. That's WordPress icon. You got to get something there. It can be your logo or even the circle or whatever. Okay, West Coast refill. Okay, well, even this picture here is a little more cool or effective, I think, because it's got like pictures of your actual products. I can see what they are. Dandruff shampoo, conditioner. This is great, right? I don't know if it's quite attractive enough for a header image. Like I would want to I don't know if there's a way you can like arrange them a little better or something like that. I mean, I know it's like just a bunch of bottles, but pose them a little bit, like style it a little bit, right? But I do like this picture. I think this is the best picture I've seen on the website so far. And you may want to consider something more like this for your main image on your home page. COVID-19 update. I don't know if that's still relevant. Yes, we are filling personal bottles and containers. Okay, I still don't know outside of the picture. Here we are. Okay, this is great. So you see we have home cleaning products, body care, raw ingredients. Great. So these are the three things that I would like to see back on the home page, probably in your hero section, in the subheading, home cleaning, really letting people know what it is that you sell there. You don't sell gasoline. That's great. Now I know that, and I know that right away. Also, let's see what we got. COVID update. I mean, I don't like anything that's all caps like this. It's looks like somebody is screaming. I think you can do a lot more with structuring your headings to be bigger and smaller, and this just kind of like this is a kind of a wall of text. Wall of text is really hard to read. You really want to break it up into sections. Have again like headings that talk about what we're talking about. So we would want to have the first heading be like yes, I don't know if this is going to stay or what because COVID's done, but let's ignore that for now. We're talking about here. So I would probably want to have three sections. You have refillable products, and then the first thing is maybe you want to talk about what you need to refill your product, like bring your own container. That's the other thing. Like, can I bring my own container, or do I have to buy one from you? Can I bring literally any container? Does it have to be sanitized, right? Like, this is something that, I think is really important. And while it's in here, I think you can structure the text a lot better to be more like bite size and absorbable. Again, that's something I play around with. It takes me some time to actually do that. So I can't just tell you exactly how it should be right off the bat because it takes a bit of work, but just think about that. Okay, home cleaning products, body care, raw ingredients, that's great. These are also could be, when I talked about like the categories to shop on the home page, like these could be big squares to click and it'll take you to the shop archive of those products. Also, like if you have shop online, let's go over here for a second, see what you're offering here, because I want to see what the difference is between shop online. Oh, you've got a Shopify store. Okay, that's cool. Okay, so that's fine. There's nothing. See, then now I'm like, oh wow, this is a little bit better. I still again, reduce, reuse, rethink, refill. Again, it still doesn't exactly tell me what it is that you sell, right? Simple, affordable, memorable. That's great. Still doesn't tell me what you sell. We're going to come back to this shop page in a couple of minutes. Okay. Let's go back to the main site. So if I saw all these links here, I would want a link that says like shop online or see product specs, and it would take you to that product in your store. I never want people to think like dishwasher powder. I want to know more about that and not know how to find out more information about that. So if you were using Shopify or WordPress, you could use a custom post type. There's lots of ways to do it, but give it some thought, like what kind of, where does your beeswax come from? I want to know where your beeswax comes from. Well, I want to be able to click that, and let's happen to see if I go to shop online and shop all. So featured items. This is pretty nice looking, to be honest. Shop all. Let's see if we can find the beeswax. See, this is what I have to do to find out more about your beeswax after reading it on your website. So just give that some thought. Okay. Your plugin is not working. Use your short code. So refillable products. I personally don't think you need these to be separate. I think you could have one thing that just says products and shop or something like that, and have at the top of your shop page have everything available online or in store. Again, I don't know your business exactly. I don't know if that works, but just consider kind of combining these two into one easily accessible system. Okay, learn. So I don't really like the word learn. Um, I guess it works because you have workshop, events, blogs, and newsletter. Um, it just depends on how important your workshops and events are and how much you want to promote them. Again, like I would consider having a like this all looks really good. This looks really interesting. Um, I would consider having a section about this on your home page, and um, even maybe on the home page, one of the sections have a thing that says upcoming workshops, and it just has the title and the date, nothing else. And then a thing that says read more. So when you're back on the home page, you come down to here and it just says offering workshops, and you just have, it's only going to be like this, you know, this big. You know, it's not a huge section where it just has the title and the date, learn more. Right? Again, it's an overview, and then you can have another button if you want to like browse all the workshops. Maybe this only has the next 3 workshops coming up. Again, it's a lot of websites are subjective too, right? It's like, how do you like it? And you know, there's not always one right way to do things. So, but these look really cool. I do like the pictures, composting for indoors and small spaces. Yeah, so let's take your blog. Why you should try plastic-free July. Getting started with zero waste living. Time for a waste audit. Okay. How to unlock. These are good. I like how-tos. Depends what your goal is, right? But I do think your blog should be organized into like, I see you do have categories here, but you can like have a filter maybe so people can search them more easily. Um, blogs are tricky. There's also like blogs are really effective for search engine optimization. So there's a whole other thing I'm not going to get into about how to find keywords, how to write content for the web and for SEO. That's a very big undertaking, and requires a lot of writing and a lot of specific targeted writing. So that's a whole other topic. I'm not going to get into that now, but I do like that you have a blog. This is good stuff that you can share. And yeah, I like how-tos. Just remember, you're always trying to add value to your clients. This one, I appreciate this. Inspire others, don't judge them, you know, but I don't know how this kind of really directly relates to your product. Anyway, whatever. Let's go to your newsletter. So join our mailing list. Okay, so I think this subscribe to our newsletter should be in the footer on every single page. And also, if it's important, if you're, so it looks like you haven't, I don't know if you haven't updated your website or if you haven't been releasing newsletters, whichever. If you are using your newsletter and you do want it to be effective, consider having it be like on the home page. Like you can even be like, again, what is your main goal? You can have it here, right? Or you can have another section. It's like, join our newsletter and have a little more embellishment about what kind of stuff you're going to learn. And if it's, you know, sort of important and you're kind of just want people there, have it in the footer section. But if you have it here, you know, that's a pretty buried in your website. I think the odds of people signing up there without you specifically telling them to go there, fairly low. Okay, about us, location and hours, media mentions, contact us. Also, what happens if I click learn? Nothing. Okay, so if this doesn't click, then it shouldn't be this cursor. It should just stay as a mouse to know that I can't click, same as this one here. See, this one does click. See, that one goes to this about us, and this one doesn't. So I am a huge fan of consistency on websites. If this one doesn't click, this one doesn't click either when you have the drop downs. If there's this pointer cursor, which is what we call this finger, if this one's a link, it clicks and it goes to a link. If it's a pointer, if it's not, doesn't, it stays as a mouse, and then people have the visual that it doesn't go anywhere. Okay, about us. After decades of very sustainable living, homegrown food. So this wall of text is just like, again, this is too much text, way too much text in a wall. You should have about us, you should have like maybe something about like first thing, our history, and then talking about why we decided to do this. Again, headlines. People don't read websites; they scan websites, and having headlines and like often some bolded text is really nice to like give people something to grab onto as they're scrolling through, and then they can decide if they want to delve deeper into that paragraph and read more of that content. Okay, dissatisfied with the overabundance, blah 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 blah. So good, good, good. So I think there's probably a lot of really good content here, but it just needs to be restructured. West Coast refill, step to shopping. I do like videos. I do think if your video is good, let's have a quick look here. So this is a nice video. Um, I don't know what you've been using it for, but I would consider um, putting this on your homepage somewhere. This is really nice content. And let's have a look at this. Probably would only want one video on your homepage. If this is more of an about you, then maybe on this page is okay. But this is a really nice videos. I really think this one here should be um, on your homepage somewhere. Maybe talking in the about us, or I didn't know you had this video when I was talking about the homepage, but it's good to have there for sure. Put it on the homepage. Media mentions. Okay, store review by international zero waste blogger. So again, store review by international zero waste blogger. Instead of having a media mention, have a little section on your home page that talks about, like Yam Magazine says, and then have a little quote. Refill makes living sustainably easy and aesthetically pleasing. You don't have to have the whole article, and then you say Yam Magazine, and you can have a link to the article if you want. But really, I would say on your homepage, you want to have a very minimalized version of this page. You want to have this page on your home about this big, maybe a little bigger in little cards or a little section that talks about your social proof. This is great social proof. It is nobody, when I say nobody, I don't mean 100%, but hardly anybody is going to make it this far on your website to see these media mentions. And by the time they get here, they're probably already going to be convinced whether they want to come visit you or not. That page this deep is for people who already believe in your website. Okay, location and hours. Again, I want location and hours. If you're a physical store, I want it on the home page in the hero section if you want people to come visit, right? Or maybe if you're on a mobile device, it's in the menu that comes out, location and hours. I want this to be like right front and center. I also want it in every footer so that people can find it really easily. I want this to be in at least 3 different locations so that there's no way somebody who's looking for this information cannot find it, right? I'm not saying it shouldn't be in the menu. That's good. Some people will be in the menu, will look in the menu for it, especially let's just say they're on another page and they want to find the location. They'll go to the menu and the location and hours, but you want this in probably the hero section, probably in the footer, and probably on its own location page. Also with this location and hours, embed a Google map. You can also talk about bus routes that go there, parking, bike lanes, anything that's relevant to your location and how to get there more easily. Do you offer delivery, anything like that? Well, delivery I think would even be in your shop online or in the homepage, but yeah, okay. Contact us. So I think you can combine contact us and location to location and contact, right? So I do like forums on websites. And I don't know what happened to my image there, but hopefully you're still seeing this. Okay. Yeah, I do like forums on websites. And but I would also like to have a phone number, an email address, links to your social media, any other content. Again, all that kind of stuff should be in a location and contact. And then finally, I'm just going to end this here pretty quick. FAQ. I like to have the FAQ on the homepage. This stuff is like the meat of everything you want to know. A lot of this content should be on your homepage. I recommend having an FAQ right on the homepage, right near the bottom above the call to action. I think an FAQ is super effective. If you have it here at the end of the menu, a lot of people aren't going to get to it. So just basically, these are the questions you want to answer right away. You want this section on the homepage right here after they've read your features and your benefits and your overview. Then you have an FAQ before the call to action. So thank you so much for watching this video. My name is Adam. Feel free to send me a message. I do offer a free consultation, and I just like to talk to people. So have yourselves a wonderful day, and thank you to West Coast Refill for volunteering their website, and hopefully you found some benefit out of this, and I'm wishing you the best of luck moving forward with your business and the utmost of success. Okay, have a great evening, guys.